model in the 1908 instruction manual when the name was just changing from Mechanics Made Easy to Meccano. This version using more easily available standard parts, in the fact that each 12.5 inch section of the frame is a 12.5 inch angle girder. A lot more easy to get hold of than the really long angle girders, and basically it's I measured the bases and the height of the larger Mammoth stationary engines, and without resorting to using perhaps unusual length girders, I decided to go a little bit oversized and use the standard ones, standard 12.5 inch one, because it's just easier and probably cheaper as well. There are I think it's 44 12.5 inch angle girders in that. I'll share a few more detail shortly, but the main reason I'm doing this little snippet of a video is that I've managed to get the winch working, not under steam power yet, but all the string is now attached, and it's Ralph's string, which is a very similar shall we say representation of the original sort of Meccano string. I had to use every scrap. I ordered 10 yards off him. I used that and 2 small hanks of the same cord as well in green, but we'll go on to the winch later. So there you can see, it does, spoil the surprise if you like, it does, at least under finger power, which doesn't require a lot of effort, and rechargeable electric drill, pick up a traction engine, but I'll show you that later. It takes a while because the winch is 400 to 1. Anyway, I'll show you a bit more detail. Here we are at the winch. This side is the actual side that will be facing the public when it's on display. You see this gear here, that's for the ratchet and prawl later on, which will form a bit of a brake, handbrake if you like, even though it being worm drive at the opposite end forms its own natural brake because you can't reverse. It's a non-reversible worm gear. So anyway, the drive will come in from here, and the board isn't big enough even though I made some rough measurements. I shall have to have some more boarding round to accept the larger steam engines. There will be a frame around this forming a box section, and there'll be another engine on top about here driving a dynamo to drive some lights. So the drive comes in here. I've got an O-ring on there to protect the drive, peel it off a bit, to protect the drive when I'm using the electric drill. That's purely to speed things up a little bit, and it's only a little bit. The winch is about 400 to 1, which is a bit much, but it's a bit interesting, not about, see what we can lift. There's plenty of packing. I'll run out of string. I had to buy some wool because the shop stopped selling string locally. Packed that up. As you can see, I've used rail string, but I haven't really got quite enough to give it a good cover in there, so some more added needed. Everything's been oiled. The string runs along here to this sort of roller here. Wouldn't call it a fair lead exactly. This comes up to an 1/2 inch pulley here on the inside of the pulley, and I've left this one to float left and right as needed. This again runs inside, the string runs inside to this pulley and up to this pulley here. All the same construction with these pulley mounts, except for that first one which floats. These don't float, they're just spaced out through washers. Goes over the top of this one along to the one in the middle, which goes underneath, helping to keep it all on the pulleys, which as long as you've got some weight on, that's fine, it should stay in place. It seems to at the moment. And this comes down to here. Sorry for the rather poor camera work and the lighting. And that one, as I say, comes down to this one onto the crane, or jib if you like, and then down to this 1 inch pulley, which halves, I suppose it halves the load. Halves. I'll have to work on that one, it's been a long time. But it reduces the load anyway. And that of course goes back up the other side and gets connected up to the jib there. Now what I've done purely for ease of use, because for transportation the top floor is going to have to come off. So instead of keep on doing string all the time, it would just be a case of undoing this top bolt there, unscrewing and taking off that collar there, pull it out, done. Remove the string, undo, there'll be a few more bolts because I've got to add a few more things yet. Undo all these here at the other end and all four corners, and the top will come off. So there we are for a bit. I'll set the camera up and hopefully we'll show it running. Right, here we go folks. Here's our little rechargeable steam engine. Got a 1-inch pulley with tyre, Meccano, on a, I think it's about 2-inch axle, just locked into the chuck. And so I've got the right way to lift. So we put it on there like that. Make sure it's not catching any of the mountings for the winch. Press the trigger. And you see it turns quite slowly. As I said before, I'm only doing this to speed things up. And you can see it turning. I hope, if not, I'll just do a bit of a closer. Right folks, I was going to share a bit more of the route of the string or cable in operation, but it's a bit awkward to do it here with all the other bits and pieces and tools, and as you can hear, axles and parts all over the place. So we're going to try again. I think I'll try and get it the right way around. But this time you'll see it lift the traction engine, and it is slow. See, it's taken up the slack. It's a bit awkward because I've got to keep the eye on the traction engine and the drive because it's only interference fit. And there you go. I do need to add more weight to the hook, because it's not really got enough weight in it to keep the string taut when there's nothing on the hook to bring the hook down.